Aliens. Do aliens exist?
Yes, aliens do exist. There's an old joke. They're called Hungarians. Hungarians are there's so many countries. Yes, there's an old joke. There are aliens, they're Klingons, and they're around Uranus. But I wanted to give this to you, Stephen, as one of the gifts I brought for you today. This is some soap for you. This is soap.
Uranus soap.
It's Uranus soap, so you want to keep Uranus clean.
Thank you so much.
In all seriousness, there's no evidence for aliens. There's what I call possibility does not equal probability. The existence of so many stars in the universe means there's so many planets, which is true. We found almost every single star has maybe 10 planets around it, and we have 100 billion in our galaxy alone. There's 100 billion galaxies in our universe. We're talking one with 24 zeros after it. That's how many planets there are in the observable universe.
Planets.
Planets. People say that means that it's got to be life in the universe. No, it doesn't mean anything. There could be so many hurdles for life to get started, let alone to create complex technology producing life like us, that we're it. And I'm not saying we are it, but I'm saying there's been 0.000% evidence that life exists beyond the Earth. I know you've had Lou Elizondo on. The claims that he's making are controversial. They're not scientific. They're government. I'm not dismissing his experiences with people he talks about. They're not persuasive. They're not addressing fundamental characteristics. The universe is vaster than you or I can comprehend. You know, if this was our solar system, the nearest star would be like near in San Diego. There's almost no way for us to comprehend how enormous our universe is, let alone how vast the cosmos is.
How much of it can we see?
Technically we can see a lot of the universe, but most of that is way before even molecules formed. In other words, there's no possibility of life. Let's restrict ourselves to the Milky Way galaxy, which is the only galaxy we'll ever be able to explore, et cetera, at least unless we invent wormhole travel like Interstellar. But for now, we have sent probes. The farthest probe we've ever sent was launched in 1977. It's 1 light day away from the Earth, okay? So that means traveling at the speed of light, the fastest speed possible.
Which is how much miles an hour?
186,000 miles per second. 300,000 kilometers per second. It's only, quote unquote, it's only gotten 1 light day away. The nearest star is 1,200 times farther away than that. It's 4 light years away. So it'll never get to that other star. I mean, it took 50 years to get 1 light day, so it need 1,200 times 50 years, call it 100. So you're talking like vast numbers of millennia to get to the nearest star. And that star, we don't even know if it has life on it or not, and it's not actually going to that star. But the point is, the galaxy itself is so large, and the types of environments in which life can take hold are so precarious. It's actually, we tell ourselves a story, like you said, with molecules, and then they start to evolve, and then they get. It's really not known how life got created. It's not known how life came from non-living material, from hydrogen, helium, oxygen, how that turned into a cell. It's a vast challenge in what's called synthetic organic chemistry and the formation, origin of life. And then to say that those entities then evolved into some kind of technologically produced. If we found a dinosaur on Mars, that would be the discovery of the history of the planet of all time, right? Or whatever, even a bacterium on Mars. That would be an incredible discovery. So some people try to defeat this notion and say, well, life didn't have to necessarily get started in all these planets. It could have started once and then get brought to those other planets through meteorites.
Yeah.
This theory was created by the same Fred Hoyle who came up with the Big Bang Theory. And they called it Panspermia. It sounds dirty, but it's not. So these meteorites could carry genetic material and they could land on another planet. They could have landed on Earth. That's one theory, that life on Earth originated from another planet that had life on it. And in fact, this is one of your lovely parting gifts. This is what Elon will kill for. I'm going to give you something that Elon doesn't have. This is a piece of Mars. This is a real piece of Mars. It's 1.524 grams of another planet. I want you to touch it. You can see it's a little bit reddish, like the planet Mars.
This is much better than the butt soap you gave me.
I gave you a piece of Uranus and a piece of Mars. Here's some information about it. I give out, as I said, these meteorites on my website. briankeating.com to lucky winners each month, and I'll give out the information. This was found in Africa. And how did it get here? Well, a meteorite hit the planet Mars, shattered off debris. That debris orbited around Mars for millions of years, perhaps. Eventually, it plowed into the Earth and landed in Africa. They found it. They said they knew it came from space. They analyzed it. It has the same chemical composition, molecular structure as the landers that are on Mars right now measure for Mars. So we know 100% that's from Mars. It's incredible. So Elon is desperately trying to get there. That's your little piece. Please
thank you.
Keep it safe. And that's one way that life could have gotten to Mars from the Earth, right? The same thing happens on the Earth as happened to Mars. So it could have hit Earth, blasted off some amoebas, some orcas, some kangaroo, whatever, and whatever was on the Earth at the time, and then eventually landed on Mars with the DNA of it, but it didn't take hold, right? So planets exchange DNA. It is possible, but we don't see life on Mars.